Scala at Caelum has always intrigued me since day one when we got to see it in the final trailer. And when Kingdom Hearts 3 released, Master Xehanort just made it worse by calling it the Nexus from which all worlds spring. And this is interesting because if you think about it, if the worlds that we know within the Kingdom Hearts universe didn't exist within the age of fairy tales or within the age of the One World when Kingdom Hearts was around, then it's possible that Daybreak Town was also seen to be a nexus as well. He also calls it a seat of power for all Keyblade Wielders, so 9 times out of 10 this also does mean it is connected to the characters such as Ephemera, Brain, Ventus, Scold, Lorium, and of course Strelitzia, and obviously, I forgot Marl. I can't fucking Elrena. Is it Elrena? I think so. For some reason, I couldn't remember that name, but Elrena. Basically, all of these characters eventually will have something to do with Scala at Caelum when they escape the Master of Masters world line within Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. In fact, I believe Union Cross is building up to them creating this place and then creating the world that Sora knows today. But here's the thing, if we use the legend that Kairi's grandmother spoke of, who's to say that that legend wasn't taken just as much out of context as the one prophecy from the Book of Prophecies that on that land shall darkness prevail and light expire. Because see, if the Book of Prophecies is created by the No Name, and the No Name was there to literally see Sora go on to defeat Master Xehanort, then why is it that it was ever interpreted that on that land shall darkness prevail and light expire? Unless something was pulled from the Book of Prophecies, or the Book of Prophecies simply ceased to exist because the Master of Masters refused to put any more information within the Book of Prophecies beyond that point, specifically to use it to try and destroy the foretellers. Because we know that the prophecy is based on the events with Sora and them, because of the fact that the prophecy is brought up literally after everyone falls. When everyone falls, including Sora himself, it's revealed that the prophecy did actually come to fruition, that on that land shall darkness prevail and light expires. It even says, and so, meaning that, yes, nigga, the prophecy did actually happen. So, if the prophecy is about these characters rather than the characters of the past, and we can think of Daybreak Town essentially as a nexus as well, but with Scala at Caelum, obviously the worlds were actually created. What if this is actually wrong? What if it isn't the spherical worlds or the worlds that we visited within the Kingdom Hearts series thus far, but rather the worlds are Sora's world, Yazora's world, and then other worlds as well? You see, if we look up the description of Nexus, there's some interesting stuff to be had that could actually lead to this. And these descriptions read as follows: a connection or series of connections linking two or more things. A connected group or series, the central and most important point or place. And the reason why these descriptions are so powerful is because, let's take the last one for instance. You can't tell me that you have never thought of Scala at Caelum to be a different kind of place compared to the rest of the worlds within the Kingdom Hearts series as a whole. And I say this because Scala at Caelum seems to be a world that misses a horizon. It doesn't have a horizon, only just a sea, and of course these islands that stretch as far as the eye can see. There doesn't seem to be any kind of curvature. There doesn't seem to be any type of a horizon in the sense that the sun will ever set. Now, of course, this was a missed opportunity by Nomura and the team to actually give worlds within the Kingdom Hearts series day and night cycles, just so that way they can specifically show us that Scala at Caelum itself does not have a day and night cycle, because it isn't a spherical world, in a sense that the world will be able to spin and cause the effect of nighttime by facing away from the source of light. So, with that being said, obviously, we can't actually claim this to be 100% fact. However, we do know one thing in particular, and that's that the one world that came within the age, or that existed within the age of the fairy tales, it was essentially just one world. There was no Disney worlds that existed in that time. This was the point of the Book of Prophecies, to be able to go to different worlds to collect Lux from those worlds in the future. So, if those worlds were actually being called upon, or the characters used their hearts to connect to these worlds, then it's possible to say that, yeah, they probably did create the universe that Sora exists within, in the sense that they were able to finally bring about the worlds within the Kingdom Hearts universe that we've seen thus far. But who's to say that they weren't also capable of doing things such as creating whole new world lines? And that's where we fall into the place of where Yozora comes into this. Because, as you know, within Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, interestingly, we get to see that Sora is going to be traversing a lot more of Scala at Caelum this time around. And with him traversing through Scala at Caelum this time around, we could see him find out some piece of information that he think could lead him to a new trail to save Kiari, which could be how him and Yozora could wind up getting connected. Through this connection, obviously, when he disappears, this may be how Sora winds up in the new place. Apparently, by the claims of Charity, if we're to believe that this all flows into one moment, then of course he'll be left without his powers within this new place. And within this new place, of course, we do actually get to see Yozora and his friends actually do have some pretty OP fucking abilities. To say that they're taking on mechs, meaning that they don't get tired, they don't run out of energy. Of course, they may have some kind of cooldown, but they don't run out of energy either. However, Yozora and his friends are shown to be absolutely fucking bodying these motherfuckers. As a matter of fact, to make things even worse, the huge scale of destruction that we see within, of course, the Verum Rex cutscene from the Toy Box world actually is being caused by none other than the woman in the Yozora cutscene, dog. So that's how powerful apparently these characters can get. And if these characters can get that powerful, then who's to say that these characters aren't actually from a different universe entirely? In fact, I think that that's the point that they tried to make within the new final trailer, because I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not? Why is it that Yozora has these exact same questions about his life as Sora had at the beginning of the Kingdom Hearts series? Could it be because apparently it's possible that many worlds were created in search of a hero that may actually be found in Sora, or maybe there could be many different heroes found throughout many different versions of the world. And maybe the legend about how the world that, Kiari and her grandmother lives in now actually is misinterpreted, or was actually twisted by Lushu or the Master of Masters, and there is actually multiple worlds. Because you see, Kairi's grandmother also mentions the fact that the worlds are separated due to the fact that the light is missing. So Kingdom Hearts is missing from the world. So in order to keep a war from happening, this is also a part of this, a part of Kairi's grandmother's story. She never mentions it. I think it's due to Kairi's age when she told her. But of course, in the Xehanort reports, we do actually learn that the reason why the worlds, or what we believed, or we interpreted it to be the worlds that we get to traverse through and play through and meet the characters of the Disney characters within a series, we believed it to be those worlds. But what if it's actually full on universes that exist? Because if you take Japanese, I guess you could say grammar, the word sekai could mean world, but at the same time too, you could use sekai, it still means world, and you're actually talking about the entire universe, or entire universes. So if you use the word if they use the word sekai within the Japanese versions of Kingdom Hearts, then that just makes it even fucking worse, because that's the original language of the series, and this whole time it'll be easily for Nomura or any writers that they may use in the future to say, yeah, the idea that you thought that other worlds could be ignorant of each other, or the idea that we've been proposing, or maybe this could simply be done to do away with the flaw in the series that, of course, Sora and every other Keyblade wielder in the series, or actually every other character, has made worlds aware of the existence of other worlds. And seeing as no war has ever been started, there has never been any plot lines of stopping a war, this could be a chance for them to actually show, hey, remember how, of course, Sora and them aren't supposed to enlighten worlds? Remember how Xehanort said, we are never to enlighten other worlds of other worlds? Well, what was actually meant by that is that there's other universes, and the reason why we see Yozora and his friends fighting to save the woman within their world is because his world actually was connected to another world. Because remember, a connection or series of connections linking two or more things. And this could be done due to the fact that, of course, potentially someone else may have been able to get a hold of information from Scala at Caelum. If not that, potentially Sora could have done something by the end of the game that could cause a connection between the worlds of Verum Rex and some other universe that wound up existing, some other universe that took a path far away from the Keyblade, whereas Yozora and their powers may have come from the Keyblade led to the Keyblade War, so the Keyblade doesn't exist in this particular universe, which could be why Charity speaks about Sora losing his powers. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that there's a possibility that Scala at Caelum could actually wind up being this huge puzzle piece into the Kingdom Hearts universe in its entirety? Because another thing to mention here is Kingdom Hearts itself. If Kingdom Hearts is apparently the light that can unify all of these worlds back together, and of course we don't see this happen, could it be because of the fact, could this be what Xehanort was trying to avoid? Could he have wanted Kingdom Hearts because the power of Kingdom Hearts, you know what, it actually does fit in with a lot of theories, because then there's the Kingdom Hearts being a portal theory to many different universes, and if it is a portal to many different universes, could the one that get a hold of Kingdom Hearts, and this could be what Master Xehanort was trying to do, could the one that get a hold of Kingdom Hearts, could they not only recreate all of these universes in one go, but at the same time too, could they become so powerful that all of these universes could be bent to that particular individual's will? And that could have been something that Master Xehanort had in mind as well for what he was going to do, and that could have been why he was led to the point of, at the end of the day, you know, what he's going to do is a lot more worse than anything he could do to the characters that we know and love, such as taking Terra's body and things like that. It could be also why he needed a youthful body, seeing as, of course, eventually he was going to have to come in contact with these other universes to be able to bend them to their will, so that that way the true Kingdom Hearts could come out and actually unify the worlds. So let me know what you guys think about this. I feel like it's going to lead to some very interesting stuff. It's definitely everything that I'm saying here comes from within the series itself. If it doesn't all go together, they interestingly enough actually did like build like this whole plot line up in the background. For somehow they wound up doing this. If this is not the idea that they have in mind, somehow they wound up doing this to where Scala at Caelum is a nexus that is apparently from which all worlds spring. Through these all worlds springing from this place, it could exist outside of time, and existing outside of time means it exists outside of space, and then you could also potentially use it to connect many different universes. But then we're starting to get into the territory of how did these characters reach Scala at Caelum and stuff like that. But then again though, we never know the powers that exist within other universes. It's just completely that simple. But I do believe at this point right now, my mind is set on the idea that Yozora's world and the world where the mechs come from within Verum Rex's cutscene is actually many different universes finally being revealed to us. Now, what I think Nomura is going to do with this, obviously, is use this as a pathway or a gateway to start creating like other games, as he may be getting like kind of fatigued with the Kingdom Hearts series and he just wants to try other things out. But of course, I do believe that this is where the story is going, in the sense that we're going to start to see more universes. So this has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming, and everything you do, don't forget to keep it A-class. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace the heck